Today we're diving into a topic that has the subtlety of a brick through your window. The age-old question of why are people's identities being shoved down my face? But when does parading one's identity become shoving it down people's faces? Is it when you have a hijab on? Is it when you have a necklace that represents the specific religious group that you belong to? Is it when you have a football jersey that represents what team you support? No, wait, I think it's when a minority celebrates their identity that the majority does not identify with. Hi, I'm Shay. Welcome to my channel where I unpack some random thoughts that I have and have nowhere else to dump them other than the internet, because where else can I go for validation? Oh, and a quick disclaimer, I am not a psychologist or any kind of expert. I just have a lot of thoughts and opinions that I would love to share on the internet, so please take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Oh, I can't stand seeing these pride flags everywhere. I don't understand what's wrong with those people. Like, why do they keep trying to parade their identities? Like, we already know. You don't have to shove it down my face. But as for me, every single day when I leave the house, I go out in my hijab. Definitely not trying to call attention to myself, but I want people to know that I'm Muslim. So yeah, do you see how stupid that is? Like, do you see how stupid that is? I just want to say, just a disclaimer, I'm Muslim. I'm using hijabis as an example because that is their identity. Their identity is being a hijabi and their identity is being a Muslim. And when you see hijabi, you're like, that's a Muslim. So I do not want to use any other example that I do not identify with. I identify with this, and I want people to not take any hate on what I just said, especially if you're Muslim. Please do not come for me. I'm just using this as an example because I identify this way. It's almost like there is a misunderstanding of what identity is, because let's be honest, we all wear our identity in some form, but for some reason certain groups are seen as parading their identities when others get a pass for it. First off, let's talk psychology, specifically cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when our brains cannot handle two conflicting ideas at the same time. Like when you accuse people of parading their identity when you're doing the exact same thing, just in a different font. This dissonance creates discomfort. So what we do is we project. Then there's also the in-group versus out-group dynamic. It's like when you're in a different group from me, you are over there being loud and annoying. And I don't want to see it because I want my group to be loud and annoying. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing, as human beings, we crave belonging. So when somebody from the out group shows their identity, it's more like an intrusion on my identity. No, it messes with like the cozy little bubble that I made for myself, and I don't want anything to burst that bubble. So I do not like it, and I want to hate on it because it's making me uncomfortable now. But then the moment where we are within the in group, we share our views, we parade our identity, we talk about what we want to talk about, like what we are passionate about. I'll give an example. If I love anime so much, like, which I do, but if I love anime so much, but at the same time I hate manga so much and I cannot stand manga, if a manga reader comes to me and tells me how great manga is, how much they love manga, how much they maybe identify with manga, and then they tell me, why don't you, they don't have to tell me, but me seeing them talk about manga or like discuss manga will bother me because I don't like manga, I like anime. But instead of me pulling myself out of the situation, what am I gonna do? I am uncomfortable, so I'm gonna get defensive and I am gonna go and like either fight that person, not physically, but like get super uncomfortable, and I will not like that. I do not like the fact that they're making me uncomfortable when I was cozy. I was thinking about anime. I was talking about anime. I was parading my anime everywhere, and you just come here and you think you can burst my bubble. So that's kind of what it is. I hope that makes sense. But I love both anime and manga. Please don't come at me. Look at me. I'm wearing hijab to show that I'm part of the Muslim community. So when you look at me, you're like, that's a hijabi. I know she's Muslim. So like, I'm different from you, but you see me in a hijab, you can tell that I have a hijab on and that I am Muslim and that my identity is that I am Muslim. Historically, identity expression has always been controversial. Think of the civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, even the fight for the LGBTQIA plus rights. It was always controversial. It was seen as in your face, too loud, unnecessary, but they didn't just happen in a vacuum. They all came out as the need to be seen, to be heard, to be visible, because for too long those identities were hidden, ignored, or oppressed. Society has always had the double standard for visibility. If you're mainstream, white, cisgender, straight, part of certain religions, you're allowed to exist in your identity without anyone blinking an eye. But if you're part of a marginalized group, then your identity is too much. And that very act of being visible is seen as parading. So let's just stop pretending that the loudness of one's identity is different from the other. An example, if you're so into sports, you love that, and that's your whole identity. You're a sports bro or sports girl. I don't know what the word is for girls, but if you're into sports and that is all you do, that's all you talk about, that's all you play, nobody is gonna have any issues with it because it's mainstream. Everybody does that. You're part of the majority. Everybody's cool with it. Everybody's okay with it. Like, you are okay. But if you're part of a minority, then you're getting too much. We need to shut that down. And the kicker is, we live in an age where identity has become currency, visibility is power, social media has changed the game, and now more than ever, people are broadcasting their identities. But for the minority group, it's more of a way for them to broadcast their identities so that they can claim space in a world that's trying to shut them down. But when people go, ugh, I am so sick of this minority group parading A, B, C, and D that I do not agree with, that is integral to their community, the minorities community, it's basically them saying, I am uncomfortable with them having visibility in a world that has already given me visibility. I want what I want to be the majority and to be what is normal in the world, quote unquote normal. So to wrap it up, let's live in a world where parading one's identity isn't something that just other people do. Let's acknowledge it's something that we all do in our own way. And whether you're a coffee person, a dog person, into gaming, let's acknowledge that we all do it. Identity isn't just about expressing who you are. It's about claiming space in a world that you feel does not want you. So go live your truth. Let's just be aware that we are all parading our identities, whether you think it's the truth or not. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it all the way here. If you like this, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I don't know, all that stuff that people do for YouTube. I'm kind of forgetting what it is. But leave a comment too if you agree or if you disagree. Please, constructive criticism only. This is my first video and I would love to do more of these in the future. Thank you so much. Bye.